It all started with a slight cough. Anna didn't think much of it when her husband, John, first complained about feeling a bit under the weather. It was flu season, after all. "Just take it easy," she said, bringing him hot tea and his favorite blanket. But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. John's symptoms didn't go away. They only seemed to get worse. At first, it was just the persistent cough. John would cough so hard sometimes it left him breathless. Anna noticed he was tired more often. John, usually the life of the party and always up for a game of basketball with his buddies, was now often found resting on the couch, too tired to do much of anything. His normally bright eyes seemed dull, and he was losing weight, which was strange because his appetite hadn't changed. Anna, worried and frustrated, made appointment after appointment. They visited their family doctor, who ran the usual tests but found nothing conclusive. Blood work, x-rays, and even a CT scan all came back normal. They saw specialists, got second opinions, and even took a trip to a renowned medical center in the next state. Despite all the visits and tests, no one could pinpoint what was wrong with John. "Maybe it's stress," one doctor suggested. "Could be chronic fatigue syndrome," another said. But none of the diagnoses seemed to fit perfectly, and the prescribed treatments did little to alleviate John's symptoms. He was prescribed inhalers, antibiotics, and even anxiety medication, but nothing seemed to help. Anna felt helpless. She watched her husband's condition deteriorate, and the strain it put on their marriage was undeniable. She missed the vibrant man she married, the one who made her laugh until her sides hurt, and she hated seeing him so defeated by an illness that had no name. Their social life dwindled as John's condition forced them to cancel plans with friends. Anna's own health began to suffer from the constant worry and lack of sleep. One evening, after a particularly frustrating day of doctor visits, Anna sat down at her computer and started researching. She joined online forums, read medical journals, and connected with people who had experienced similar mysterious illnesses. She spent hours on and looking for any clue that might lead to an answer. It was through one of these late-night research sessions that she stumbled upon a possible explanation that none of their doctors had considered: mold poisoning. She read story after story of people who had suffered from similar symptoms, all caused by exposure to toxic mold in their homes. The more she read, the more it sounded like John's symptoms. Anna remembered the leak they had in their basement a couple of years ago. It had been fixed, but they never checked for mold. She brought up her findings to John, who was skeptical but agreed to have their home inspected. They hired a professional mold inspector who arrived with various gadgets and a serious look on his face. He took samples from different parts of the house and sent them to a lab. The waiting was excruciating. When the results came back, the inspector sat them down. "I'm afraid you have a significant mold problem," he said, pointing to the areas in the report. Their basement, in particular, was a breeding ground for toxic mold, and it had been slowly poisoning John for over a year. They immediately took steps to remediate the mold, moving out temporarily while professionals cleaned their home. The remediation process was thorough and expensive. The walls in the basement were stripped down, the mold was treated with special chemicals, and air purifiers were installed to ensure that no spores remained. As the house was cleared of the mold, John's health began to improve. The persistent cough faded, his energy levels returned, and the mysterious aches and pains disappeared. It was a slow process, and John's body took time to recover fully, but each day brought a small improvement. During this time, Anna and John had a lot of deep conversations. They talked about their fears, their hopes, and the future they wanted to build together. They learned to communicate better, support each other, and never take their health for granted. They realized how much they had taken their everyday lives for granted and how fragile health could be. Once they moved back into their clean home, they decided to share their story with others. They became advocates for mold awareness, telling friends and family about their ordeal and encouraging them to check their homes for hidden dangers. They even started a blog detailing their journey and offering tips for mold prevention and remediation. Looking back, Anna couldn't believe it had taken so long to find the cause of John's illness. But she was grateful for the journey, for it taught them resilience and the importance of never giving up. Sometimes, the answers to life's most perplexing problems are hiding in the least expected places, waiting for someone to uncover them. For Anna and John, that discovery was a new beginning. They emerged from the ordeal stronger, more connected, and with a renewed appreciation for life and each other. They continued to enjoy their lives, knowing that they had overcome something truly challenging together and were ready to face whatever the future held, hand in hand. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more daily content. Also, I put a link down below about something very interesting. Please go check that out. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.